Alrighty, CAA fans, Griffin Della Penna here. My first interview in the conference, so I had to pull out all the stops. He is a three-time CAA first team all men's golf selection, and he just won Men's Golfer of the Week from the College of Charleston, Kieron Van Wyk. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I'm definitely going to get in your most recent win that you had earlier this week, but less than a week ago, you're playing on the PGA Tour at the Valspar Championships as an amateur. Have you had any time to really sit down and think about what these last, week has been for you up to this point?
I've been able to take a couple days off and really reflect on the last 2 weeks and what it's been like. It's obviously a great experience for me early on in my career, of which will then be my pro career in a couple of months. So I was happy to tee it up against a really good field at the Valspar and compete.
So you shot two over. You barely missed the cut. You had a great performance, but why is it so important to get that experience now on the PGA Tour, not just for, like you said, your pro career moving forward, but then also helping your career right now collegiately?
Yeah, I think you play tougher golf courses. The Valspar, the golf course in Innisbrook presented itself to be really difficult. The golf course was very demanding, demanded all areas of your game and all facets to be really good. So I think it just makes you a better golfer overall. And when I came and played the college tournament at the Hootie, it just seemed a whole lot easier. Everything just seemed a whole lot easier, which helped me to play really well in the week.
And you just mentioned it, playing at the Hootie at the Bulls Bay Intercollegiate, hosted by South Carolina. Three under your first 2 days, and then you rattled off an eight under final round, bogey free to win the tournament by two. You've had, again, a very impressive career up to this point collegiately. Do you feel like you're starting to play your best golf at the right time heading into the championships next month?
I do. I think I've had a really good season this year. I haven't finished outside the top 15 all year. So it's been very consistent and very good at the same time. But I think it's just a culmination of all the hard work that's been put in over the years. I was battling a couple or an injury into my sophomore year and was struggling to come out of that for about a whole year and just sticking to my process and doing my stretches and all that's needed to get me back into shape. And I'm happy to see it all come full circle.
Something that has really impressed me. You did an interview with the PGA, and there might be maybe a draw to when you're in a PGA Tour event still as an amateur that you want to really put yourself on notice. You're going to try really hard, put these crazy expectations on yourself, but you went the completely other way. And you just said you wanted to just go out there and have fun. How is that mindset that might be very different than other people helped you not just now, but then throughout your golf career just to really stick to the basics?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressures that's all out in the world, and there's a lot of expectations that are always put onto you. So I always try and keep the expectations very low for myself. That way, it's always worked for me to compete my best whenever I'm playing. Um, so yeah, I just like to stick to, like you said, my basics and just get the golf ball in the hole as quickly as possible.
So we mentioned that you've had those PGA Tour events. You're still playing collegiately at Charleston, and then you've been in some other events too on the APGA Tour. You played very well at the Puerto Rico Open. Have you had any time to really sit down, work on your schoolwork? How have you been able to manage all of that?
Yeah, it's been quite crazy. I missed a lot of school recently, but um, you know, I'm happy to be playing golf and to be traveling as much as I am. This is something that I would like to do in my career, but at the same time, we got to keep the grades up. So um I'm just hanging in there for now.
And you're making money too while you're at it. You have a very nice NIL deal with Under Armour. How did that all come to be? And it is a very interesting deal for a collegiate athlete right now with such a big brand.
Yeah, so my previous assistant coach JP had close relations with Under Armour and the regional head at Under Armour. So they connected from his days at Augusta when he before he was at Charleston. And yeah, he set up that initial relationship, and yeah, I really like the brand. I really like what they represent, and yeah, we just had a good connection from the onset.
So it seems like you have everything together right now. You're playing amazing golf. You got the money. You're doing really well. But in these final weeks of the Charleston season before April 20th for the CAA Men's Golf Invitational out in New Jersey, what are you looking towards? What are you trying to work on to prepare yourself for that event?
Just keep on working on the same thing that's got me thus far. I got my practice routine that I stick to and that I consistently do. So I'll just keep chipping away at that and then looking to go and win CAs.
Awesome. Well, Kieron, thank you again for taking the time, and we'll see you April 20th out in New Jersey for the CAA Men's Championships.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.